Saudi Arabia oil supply was attacked. There's a reason to believe that we know the culprit, are locked and loaded depending on verification, but are waiting to hear from the kingdom as to who they believe was the cause of the attack and under what terms we should proceed. What's going on, guys? AK Electric. It is Monday, the 16th of September, 2019. I bet you can guess why you're seeing my face once again. The President of the United States is tweeting out that we are locked and loaded to attack Iran after this latest fire engulfed Saudi Arabia's oil facilities after drone attacks. I'll put links to all this below. That's from Press TV. I got one from Zero Hedge. Oil to hit $100. Pompeo blames Iran. And we were blaming Iran while this thing was still going on. Of course, Iran was the false flag target of choice. Who's really responsible? I don't know. Maybe Mossad, CIA. Who knows? Wall Street Journal puts this out. Iran rejects U.S. accusations over Saudi oil facility attacks. Of course they do. Meanwhile, what's going on in the background in the United States? Last week it was announced Taliban warns of more U.S. dead after Trump says he canceled peace talks. Trump was going to have the Taliban over to Camp David to talk about peace, but called it off because of the latest round of yada yada going on. Of course, he's tweeting all this out at the same time. Taliban at Camp David. You mean Al-Qaeda at Camp David? Put a link to that. Meanwhile, it's being reported that Osama bin Laden's son is killed in counterterrorism operation, says Donald Trump. And if you haven't guessed, this is an Operation Blackjack warning, because all of this stuff all coming together. I mean, I've been talking about this for years, and to see how one event filters into another event is just mind-boggling to me. Operation Blackjack in Jericho, of course, what are we talking about? We're talking about gun confiscation, gun control. No more guns in America. Have you seen the anti-gun talk going on now? It's at a whole new level. This douchebag running for president says, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. Never mind why the Americans have the Second Amendment in the first place. Nobody ever wants to talk about that. You don't need an AR-15 to guard your home? Is it about guarding your home or guarding yourself against tyrannical government? Why is it no one has the balls to say that? I mean, that's the true meaning of the Second Amendment. And I know what the Founding Fathers would do to this asshole. Meanwhile, if you still support President Trump after he took your bump stocks, Trump administration considering launching social credit score style system in coordination with big tech that would use spy data collected from Amazon, Google, and Apple devices to determine whether or not an individual can own a gun. Is that how the Second Amendment works? Shall not be infringed unless you have a poor social credit score. It's got Blackjack and Jericho written all over it, people. Do you want me to, how many more ways do you want me to say it? This is the same President of the United States, for those of you who still support this narcissistic, this, I still can't wrap my mind around him altering the hurricane trajectory map. Because he said Alabama would be included in some way, this asshole breaks out his box of crayons and draws a line. He couldn't come out and say, this is what makes Donald Trump so dangerous, is that he can't admit when he's wrong, or maybe he couldn't come out and say, well, I misspoke. What I meant to say was perhaps Alabama could get some rain and some wind, which they could have. No, he goes just beyond everything he's done so far. He altered a NOAA hurricane trajectory map to coincide with his fantasy. I'm sorry, I still can't wrap my mind around this. He actually got NOAA and the National Weather Service pitted against each other. And Donald Trump blames light bulbs for his orange hue. Maybe he was choking. I certainly hope he was. Do these light bulbs follow you around, Mr. President? More signs of Blackjack and Jericho. What have I been saying for years? The U.S. debt clock up and away. At some point, it is inevitable that there's a reset button. U.S. budget deficit tops $1 trillion. That's September 12 from Fox Business. Meanwhile, what is the debt clock up to now? $22 trillion. What you're looking at on the screen is inevitability. It's inevitable that an event happens that forces a reset, because what you're looking at is not recoverable. Please tell me your thoughts on all this stuff. We are locked and loaded to go to war with Iran. As predicted in Operation Blackjack in Jericho. Put those links below. I can't link Jericho because unfortunately we've lost Cam Zone, so I have to find an alternative to host those videos, but I will upload them somewhere else and I will include those links at a later time. And I realize I'm not posting a lot of videos lately, but I am always paying attention. Every day I'm looking for the signs. If you want news from me, at the bottom are all my links. My main channel, backup channel, make sure you subscribe. Everything's backed up on BitChute now. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Gab, the YouTube community feed. I'm constantly putting stuff out. I might not put out a lot of videos anymore, but I'm always putting out news. And of course, if you want to support me, I have a Patreon, although I will never have a tier system like a lot of people have. I'm not hating on anybody. Everybody does their own thing. My content will always be free. All of my content will always be free. If people choose to support me, of course, I appreciate that, but that is entirely up to you. So all my links at the bottom. Please tell me what you think of all this. We're locked and loaded to go to war with Iran? Well, of course we are. Of course we are. I've been saying it for years. Get ready, people. Get ready. Please rate this video. Please pass it around. Make people aware of all this news. Show them the Blackjack slides. That fictitious slideshow from the Telegraph. This is not simply entertainment, people. I love you all. Please prepare. I'll see you on the next one.